Hi guys, good morning. This is Eunice with Shaw Vintage Collection. Welcome to my channel. Today we have some exciting things to talk about, and I do have some exciting things to share with you. This jury discussion is going to be about how to charge or how to um, come up with your prices, I guess, for your vintage jewelry, custom jewelry, modern jewelry, and handcrafted jewelry, and so far. Remember, when you are discussing or trying to come up with your prices and costs for your jewelry and so far, all of these categories are basically have the same guideline, and so far, we price our jewelry by quality, by material, style, and brand, of course. Now, and that's how we use the style. Now, with some jewelry, such as vintage jewelry, they don't have a hallmark or brand on them, but you charge by the quality, the materials, and the style, and so forth. And people shop for jewelry, shop for designer brands, quality, materials, and style, and so forth. So, no matter what category they're in, they're going to be shopping for the same thing, and so forth. And if they don't have the designer brand, then they're going to definitely be looking for quality, the type of material. The material is going to create the quality that you're looking for, and so far as to what they charge, what you would charge and what they're looking for in price point, and so forth. So that is the topic of the day, is the cost, what the customer is looking for, what you can charge for your pieces, and so forth, and things like that, and a little bit of definition between the categories and things like that, and so forth, so that you have an ideal, if you're just getting into the business and things like that, if you have an ideal of what to do and so forth and what people are looking for. Okay. Let's start with the vintage jewelry. Okay, I'm a reseller, I'm a vintage jewelry seller. There's a whole lot of us out there who go out thrifting, who go to estate, who purchase estate boxes. I have one coming in too. Yes, I have an estate box coming in. Okay. So yeah, and then you got custom costume jewelry. Costume jewelry and vintage jewelry kind of like is neck and neck, because when we do get those boxes and so far, you get a lot of costume jewelry in there, as well as you get a lot of vintage jewelry, and some with designer brands and so forth. That's the whole joy of thrifting and going estate hunting for jewelry and so forth. That is the joy. Okay, modern jewelry. Modern jewelry is more like jewelry that you're going to buy from Walmart, Target, and places like that. That is what I call modern jewelry, and it's a mass market of that particular type of jewelry and so forth and everything. And there is a whole market for that as well. You go to the Walmart, you see a beautiful piece of jewelry, you're going to pay for it. And not that every piece of jewelry in Walmart is inexpensive, because they do have a few expensive pieces and things in Walmart. But before you purchase that expensive piece, you got to make sure that piece has the quality that you're looking for, meaning the material and so forth and things like that. Is that material there? If they say 14 karat gold, is that 14 karat gold there? And so forth and yada, yada, yada. The material makes the quality of the jewelry value and so forth. Okay, handcrafted jewelry and so forth. Okay, we do have some jewelry, handcrafted jewelers that do make modern pieces. They buy, what is inexpensive material for their pieces and so forth, and there's a whole market for that as well. And everything to buy, little beaded necklace, a little bracelets, metal or beaded and so forth, modern jewelry pieces and so forth, mean that there is a lot of, now not that they cannot do higher high end jewelry pieces, because they can and so forth, but some people rather do this because there is a whole market for that as well. Not everybody wants high end jewelry or can afford high end jewelry and things like that. One of the good things, or one of the best things that for handcrafted jewelers is so far is that they don't do have to do mass market, and they can do individual pieces and so far. And having an individual piece to wear, what is mass marketed or high end, quality wise and so far, is a good thing, because you don't want to have to put on the same necklace 15 other girls you're going to run into have that same piece of jewelry on. So credit for individuality and so far, one item, one custom item and so far and everything. And when you are handcrafted jeweler, whether it's metalsmith, bench jeweler, beaded jeweler, now I'm also learning all about the silver clay jewelers and so forth, wax jewelers and all that stuff. I've been watching all that stuff this weekend so far. Now, I wanted to get into that at one time and so far, but cost wise is one of the reasons that I didn't get into it, because some people like the Kim. I was kind of afraid of the torch. I still don't use the torch and so far. I can use it and so far now. I'm not as afraid as I was then. But that's just several reasons, I put it that way. Several reasons why I did not get into that, because it's easy way to make beautiful jewelry. And we're talking about real silver, 999, 925 and all that stuff. So you do have a lot of that going on and so forth. And I've been seeing and loving every minute of it, watching those girls, create their beautiful jewelry. Love it, love it, love it. And so far. And this is where we're going to talk about the price points and so forth. Okay, so for vintage jewelry is going to be higher in cost for most pieces than the actual jewelry when it first came out, because it's a limited edition, one of a kind piece. You're not going to find it because it's vintage. So you're not going to find it. And also, too, is because of the material that you use. It is really good material, 18, 14 karat gold, a real diamonds, rubies, and all that stuff. Where you look for vintage jewelry, high-end vintage jewelry, you're looking for those kind of material in that piece. Okay, now, as I said, costume jewelry also is vintage too. And when you get those boxes and so forth, you're going to find a lot of beautiful costume pieces in. You're going to find designer brand like Monet, Napier, J. Crew, even J. Crew Loft, and a lot of some of the other that I can't just wrap my name around. Don't want to call out every single one, but these designer brands have vintage jewelry, and these designer brands vintage jewelry is going to cost more than any new jewelry pieces that you would purchase and so forth and everything. So an old J. Crew necklace will cost more than a new J. Crew necklace and so forth. What I'm trying to say. Okay, you have that because there is a lot of beautiful costume jewelry, quality costume jewelry out, and some of them don't have a hallmark to them. Some of them do. Like I was just saying, Monet, Napier. Also, Joan Rivers had the collection. She passed on, God bless her. And so forth. She has vintage jewelry out, and her jewelry actually is valuable and so forth. Because a lot of people that purchase this vintage jewelry and so forth, a lot of the designers are no longer here with us, and it's a one-of-a-kind piece. You're not going to get it anymore and so forth. And that makes the cost go way up and so forth, because this is a one-of-a-kind piece, and it's also a designer brand. Now, some designer brands, again, don't have a hallmark and so far, but it's a quality piece and so forth. And some people that know vintage jewelry and so forth can actually say what the vintage jewelry piece is because they're seeing other pieces from the same designer made, but just the name is not on there and everything. So vintage and custom jewelry and so forth, vintage will cost more than the modern jewelry that we have being, sold after today and so forth. Now, handcrafted jewelry falls in line with vintage jewelry and so forth. And when I say that is because we're talking about a one of a kind piece. We're talking about the material and so forth and things like that. If you go the route where you're going to put out investment in that piece and so forth, whether you're going to do that or not. One of your pieces can cost quite a bit and so far and everything. And because there is no designer brand on it, because it's handcrafted by you, meaning if you want a high end piece and so forth, you want someone to pay a good piece for your design and so forth, then it has to be quality. It has by the material that you use and the style. So those are the three things and so forth. Modern jewelry can have a designer brand to it and so forth. Like I said, go to Targets, Walmart, and blah, blah, blah. You can find some designer brand, but always look at the material and so forth. And most people know sterling silver from silver plated, gold from gold plated, and things like that. Some things you could just pick up and so forth. You don't have to be a jeweler study and all this and that stuff. You just pick it up and so forth and everything. So those are the things and so forth. And also we have Google. Not let me forget Google. With any piece of any category, you can go Google it. You're not going to find some of the pieces. You're going to find some similar pieces. This is really weird. This TV freaks me out because it records sometime when you're talking and so forth and everything. Then it just changed my whole thing and all that. So anyway, it's creepy when your TV is recording what you're saying sometimes. I don't know, it just pops up. It is weird and it just creepy. So now I gotta try to get back to my channel. Sorry about that, the interruption. Uh why did you do that? Okay, here we go. Get back to my channel. That is crazy. Spooky when your stuff start recording you. But anyway, get it back to the jewelry. I'm back to my channel. Okay. When you have any of these categories and so forth, just know that people are going to be looking at the material, the style, and any designer brand and so forth. And as I was saying, as a handcrafted or beaded jeweler, which I am, and so forth, they're going to be looking for quality in the material and the style and so forth. And it's going to be individually so that individual and so forth, so that you can command a good price on your piece and things like that. So I have some beautiful things to share with you today. If you have any questions about what I'm saying and so far, I'm just trying to give it straight from my experience from what I know and all that. There is I will be showing me doing a couple jump rings and so forth. I have some projects here to do. I'm going to fold this book up here and show you actually what I'm working on. And because these are going to be the jewelry pieces or the things I'm looking for is going to be sterling silver. So I need some sterling silver jump rings and all that. So I had to do some jump rings today and so forth. Look how pretty these lapis are. Oops. This is going to be a beautiful necklace. I am working on it, and I got the design in my head, and I'm waiting for the sterling silver charms and things that I got to go along with this and so forth. So this is one of my pieces. This is a lapis. And let's see. I'm working on actually 4 projects and so far, and I want to share that with you and so far. Now with these beads here, these are 10 millimeters lapis beads and so forth, genuine natural lapis beads, and I'm looking for some uh, good quality material like sterling silver to put in to include with this and so far, and to come up with a beautiful design and all that. And I will try to share that with design with you before I actually publish it and so forth. Now these are so. Look at this moonstone necklace, and look at the colors. It's green and pink. If you can see that. Green and pink. There we go. So pretty. So pretty. And I think these are 12 millimeter beads and so far. I'm also waiting on the charms and things for that as well. Remember when I said that, when you get a design and so forth, it just takes you a while because you want to put everything together. Well, that's what I'm doing and so forth. And because the design I have and so forth, I have to go and order all the pieces that I want to include with this and so forth. So that is what I'm doing and so forth. It's never a quick thing and so far to do a necklace or whatever and everything. And I did just get back on my second and fourth project from Rio Grande and so forth. These are the gemstones in this package and so forth that I got. And I don't want to spill or lose one. And this is how they will come in and so far. Um, there is the gemstone right there. Don't want to dump it right there. Um, and I'm pretty sure you have, if you have ordered any gemstones or anything from Rio Grande, you know that they are kind of expensive. But this is what we're talking about, material wise, buying stuff that is going to be to make your piece more valuable. Okay, here is the next gemstone right there. If you can see it, right there. I don't want to dump it out right there. It's in here. It is beautiful. So I got the 2 gemstones, and I'm gonna be doing a stone setting because as you know, I talked about in one of my jury discussions ring mountings and things like that. So I did get these 2. Here's the ring mounting 14K gold field and so far. Haven't gotten there yet to get the gold. Haven't gotten there yet to get the gold. So I will be doing a mounting a ring stone setting on this. And this is the other one that I do have here. Is another one right there. So I got these 2 14-karat gold filled ring mounts, and I'm going to set the stones and so far, which is my third and fourth project and so far. And believe me, nothing is easy. Even setting the stones and so far is still, you got to take your time with it. You don't want to lose your stone because there's only one. You don't want to crack your stone. You don't want to scratch your wires and none of that stuff. You just don't want to do any of that. These stones are expensive. And also these here, 14 karat gold is also considered a precious metal. So don't forget that. And if you a jeweler or beginning jeweler, you will know that it is considered a precious metal along with gold, although it's more it's cost less because it is the alternative to gold and so forth. And for me, it's an alternative to gold because right now I'm not there. And so far, they do have some gold ring mounts and so far. I do see one or two that I like to get and so far, but not just yet and all that. So, as I said in one of my other jury discussions and so forth, I'm actually just getting back into creating some of my own designs and so forth. And as you'll see, I'm going to share with you a little jump ring closing and so forth and everything that's going to go along with two of these necklaces and so forth because these necklace charm pieces are going to be sterling silver and so forth. So you want the jump ring and the I already have the lobster claw and so far and everything. So when you're designing something from scratch, it's just a whole thing and a lot of preparation to it and all that. So I'm getting there. So I got the rings and so far, which I will be setting the stones and so far very quickly. It may be sometime today or it may be tomorrow because I do have some orders to get out today and all that. So and I've already done started, doing some things today. But anyway, hope that has helped you. Hope that you will enjoy this video and so far and everything. And I want to keep you updated with what's going on in the projects and so far. And if I can share little tips or show you little tips and so far that I do and so far. Don't come at me too hard because I said the jump ring thing is I'm working with old material. So, but I did want to show you how I do the closed jump rings and so forth and everything. And I actually do have a plier here that also makes the jump rings and things like that. If you want to make your jump rings, you can. Or if you want to make a mounting for your ring band and so forth, a stone little, let's see, to call it stone mounting stone for your stone setting. You can use this here plier to do that as well and so forth. And thank you guys for joining me today, and I'm so glad I was able to share with you my moonstones that I am going to be doing. I'm so excited for this, and I've had these beads for a couple weeks and so far, but it takes me a little bit to decide on what I'm gonna do and how I'm going to design them. So once I did the design, knew what I was going to get and this and that and so forth, then I said, oh shoot, I got to go ahead and order the parts and so forth to go along with it. So that's what I'm doing now, is waiting on the sterling silver charms and so forth. And they're so pretty. They are so pretty. To go along with these necklaces and so forth. So now I got the jump rings out of the way, so I'm straight with that and all that. So I just need to wait for the other parts, and then we can just go ahead and put it together. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about these rings too. Ow. Okay. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Good morning. This is an attempt to do to close up some jump rings. During my project, I have found the need that I need to have closed jump rings. And I've had, I got to take one necklace completely down because I didn't have a jump ring, a closed jump ring. And the wire just came right out of the thing. And I don't know why I didn't think about that before then. And I do have a bunch of jump rings. They're all open. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 10. I've already done 4. And so far I'm doing 4 more to let you see how I'm doing them and so forth. You can order these jump rings closed and so forth, which I have not done. Um, and this material, I ain't gonna lie, is kind of old, and I've had some kind of issues with getting these first ones done because I'm thinking that the stuff is so old, it's just not really working out like I had planned. But if I can get these four done, then at least I've accomplished something. And so far, so I'm putting the flux on the end. Now I don't do the torch thing insofar when I'm welding. I usually just do the electrical soldering. I'm very happy with doing that, and so far I do have electric solder here heating up and all of that, and so yeah, like I said, I did have a little bit of trouble with the first ones and so far, but I do have actually four that's closed that is usable and so far, and I've already ordered some um flux for the next project and so far, so I won't have as much difficulties as I've had with this here and so far. So I'm putting enough flux on here now so that I can go ahead and heat this up. And this is called the third hand right here. So this little magnifier piece here helps you out with seeing what you're doing when you're working with tiny piece and so forth. And I don't know how old flux can last and so far or time framing on it. All I know this is old. I've got a lot of stuff, like I said, I even got my pickling and so forth that I had that I didn't even know that I had. And I've been going through it since I've been like, deciding to do this on my own and so far. And I'm gonna just cut off a ball here and we're probably going to just use the Yeah, now the flux that I'm waiting for is not this type. It is going to be um the paste, which is better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and test our theory and so forth. And I'm going to use this little thing here called like to hold my little jump rings in place and so forth. Okay. Let's make sure that that flux is on the part that I am going to be doing. So I know right where exactly to do my torch. I mean, welding and so forth. So let me look. I'll get this done. Okay. Alrighty. So here we go. Now I'm holding this because this is lightweight and I need to weld and let this melt on top of it and so forth. There we go. And you would think that this stuff would not be as difficult, but it actually is. Mm. There we go. The little ball just moves and moves and moves. But you gotta get in there and get that stuff closed in that gap. Got it. Okay. Now we're going to do the other one. I'm going to clip off another piece. And then once you do that, just drop these in a little pickle, and then just do a light brush on them. And that's the reason I have this little tool out, and so far is to do just that, and so far. And again, it's been a while, and for some reason I lost my soldering block, so I'm using a brick instead. You can do that because bricks can hold the heat. There we go. That's when you know your flux is melted. So now you have to like get uh your ball there. There we go. Right at that. And again, you have to like let's see if I got it. I think I did. Yep. Okay. So that is number 2. So let me try number 3. And this one here, I don't have to have a ball. Get another piece. I can use what was left over. Yeah. And the thing is, you want to have the jump ring as close together as possible. You don't need a gap between them, and so forth. And you just need the soldering to kind of like fill that gap in, and so forth. And you want to be able to run your fingers on it, and so forth, and not fill that gap, and so forth, on your jump rings, and so forth. And again, this is the tedious because um it is um it is tedious. So yeah, it is tedious. Okay, got it. Yeah, this wish this stuff wasn't so old. But anyway, as I've said many times, I've done jewelry before. Okay, that's the third one, and hopefully I can use just this last little bit of soldering left, so I don't have to actually cut off another piece. Because these little splits are quite easy, and also too with soldering these, it'll give the jump ring look of being older, because a lot of time you just have to use the jump rings or these closures on vintage um, vintage jewelry, and so far, and you don't want anything so new on vintage jewelry. At least I don't. And so far, I like to combine them together as possible, and so far. So that is done. Okay, so I got my 8 right here. Okay, so that is how I do the jump rings, and so forth. When you don't have them, and so forth, and you can buy them, they are a little more expensive than buying the open jump rings. And you definitely will need open jump rings, and so forth, for your projects as well. But you also need closed jump ring as well, especially for your closures and things like that. So that if you're using the silver wire to spray your beads and so far, the wire don't come through. Yeah, it don't come through. So and and all that. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I like soldering. I don't know why, but I do. And get this ball off my saw here, because it may not come on its own. So I'm gonna heat that and get it off, because it was transferred from that uh, little thing. And you don't want to damage your tools and so forth, because once that stuff gets on, if you can't get it off, then it's just on there. So that might be a mistake on my part. Probably was. I should have used this end, not the other end. So I'm just trying to get that off. Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay, so that is done. I do have a couple jump rings here and so far. So I'm gonna let them cool, stick them in a pickle, and then I'm just gonna brush lightly on them and everything.